Hi everyone, thanks for coming to the breakout session. My name is Grant Harrison from Ashbourne. I've been with Ashbourne for about 14 years, but I'm also a club owner. I don't work in my club full time. What I've done is just put in some systems that essentially make it work without me being there. So what I'll do today is just talk through a few of the systems that I've put in place, and hopefully they can help you guys out as well. Okay. Right. So yes, how can we automate your club? So essentially, a bit about me. I've been in the industry about 20 years. Started off as a leisure centre gym instructor. Then I moved on to gym sales with a marketing firm. So I used to sell memberships in clubs all over the country. From there, I opened my own health club, but it was very, very labour heavy. I used to do everything from cleaning the toilets, doing the inductions, taking the classes. When I sold the club, I then started with Ashbourne, who basically look after clubs' payments, software, access control. I've been with them about 14 years, and after a while, I go and see a club and say, yeah, I used to be a club owner. Things have changed, so to say I used to be a club owner doesn't really relate anymore. So a club came available. It's a 20,000 square foot club. Had about 300-400 members at the time, but it was run really, really badly. So when it became available, myself and another guy from Ashbourne took it over, and we said, you know what, we can make a real go of this by putting in a few different systems. So we have our full-time jobs at Ashbourne, and we could not dedicate the time to being in the club. So obviously we put in the systems, and we've now got the club to about 2,000 members, and it pretty much runs all automatically, and the staff can just concentrate on giving that great experience to the members rather than dealing with all the shitty admin, to be honest. The club also gives us a unique opportunity at Ashbourne to test all of our new software, new ideas, and we can put it into a real-time club, test it out on the members, get real feedback, and really improve the systems as they go. So what I'm going to do is I will talk about the different systems that we've put in place for the relevant areas of the gym. Obviously, you'll appreciate why you put in a system. It creates that freedom for you as a club owner. As I said, when I had my first club, I used to do inductions, sales tours, ordering the stock, taking all the classes, and it just didn't allow me any time off. You know, I was there 6 a.m. till 10 at night every single day, and couldn't take a holiday because the place would fall apart. So as I say, we had to put these systems in. It also means that the club staff know exactly what's happening. You know, if this happens, then this is the follow-up. There's no umming or ahhing or what do we do here, what do we do there. These are the systems that help get members. These are the systems that retain the members, and these are the systems that will get the ex-members back into the club. Whenever you put a system in place, though, it's really good to get the staff involved. Don't just say, this is what we're doing, get on with it. Because if they can have a bit of buy-in, a bit of feedback on how they think the system could work, they're more likely to adopt it as well and take the ideas that you put into place and run with them. Okay, so we'll start off. I'm going to go basically through marketing, retention, staffing, basically all the different areas of the club where you can put a system in place to help automate it. So we put in, we do a marketing schedule at the start of each month and each quarter. Rather than doing any ad hoc Facebook ads and posts, we chuck this out and chuck that out, we have a real plan at the start of the month, and we schedule all of our posts. That way we're not constantly looking through Facebook going, how many likes have we got, how many engagements have we got here. It's all about setting it all up and letting it run. We do the same with all our paid ads and all our Google Facebook ads, paid ads, all of our social posts as well. And we decide what we want to happen. Do we want the people to come in and join? Do we want them to just inquire and get some contact details? So we make a real plan of how we're going to get people into the club and what we're going to do when they get in. We also try and schedule our tours. So when we try and get people to come into the club, if it's a really 5 o'clock on a Monday evening, for instance, is a really bad time for our instructors to do tours. So we schedule our tours at a time that fits around them, because the instructors they're just about to take a class. We've got 500 people coming in, and we're selling drinks. So we just try and automate all that as well, so they can book their tour through the website and then come in at a time that suits them, because we've blocked off certain areas. We also we build lots of landing pages. What we do is we build them and then we reuse them. We're not constantly making new landing pages all the time, because it's just a waste of our time. So we build our landing pages and we use them again and again. Okay, this is probably one of our big ones that we do. So prospect management and lead management. We spend a lot of money getting leads into the club. We do Facebook ads. When they come in for a tour and whatnot, and we just don't want them to let them slip through our fingers. We spent a fortune getting them in. Let's make sure that if they don't join, that we look after them. My staff also have enough to do with taking all the classes and everything like that, so they're not going to remember to call Mary, who came in 3 weeks ago for a look around but still hasn't joined. So what we do is we have all these different pipelines in the system which nurture and follow up everybody. So if somebody comes in for a day pass, we have a certain pipeline that follows those up. If people have a tour but don't join at the end of it, there's another follow-up sequence as well. So we have all these different pipelines for different ways that people have come into the club and captured their data. We just try and make it a little bit more specific to them. Also, obviously, people will just come in and inquire. They might not be ready to join. They might not be able to afford to join yet. So we're just nurturing them all automatically. And it's something that we put in place at the start of the month, and it just runs. Obviously, we can automate all the online, all the sign-up process as well. So in the club, I have iPads dotted around reception. So obviously, it's taking all the paperwork away. But we have online sign-ups via the website. And obviously, if people can sign up directly through the website, that makes life a lot quicker for us. At the time of joining, we also have some upsell options as well. So yes, you can pick your membership, and we have different memberships, obviously depending on the packages that they want. But then we upsell a hoodie, a water bottle, and things like that. So we're trying to get more money out of everybody each time as well. As soon as the member joins, we then have a new member onboarding journey. The last thing that we want is for people to come in, join, and never be heard of again. We have a separate pipeline within our system that gives the members all the information about the club. So it gives them their login code, teaches them how to book a class, how to download the app, how to book in a personal trainer. So all the information that the member needs, they receive in the welcome emails. And it's not one email, it's scheduled over a period of sort of 6-7 weeks to try and keep that member engaged. And as I say, it automatically just sends all that information. We're not having to remember to, once someone's joined, right, we've got to click a button and send them an email. It just does it all automatically through our system, so it's taking more time away. One of the key things with that, though, is that what we don't want to do is be sending people better offers. So we have that pipeline of sending them, actually, if you join today, we'll give you 50% off the joining fee. If they don't join in, 2 weeks later, we might not 100% off the joining fee. Now, if they join in between that two, we don't want to send them a better offer because it just pisses them off. So our onboarding journey automatically stops sending them any marketing information because they're now on them. I think that's pretty key. Okay, with the classes, again, we automate as much as we can out of the classes because it doesn't need to be labour intensive. We want to try and free up all the reception time so that they can just concentrate on selling more drinks, upselling personal training packages. So we set up the timetable and people can either book in either via our app or online via the website. And we've set up different membership packages which give different privileges. So we have a gold package where people can book in 2 weeks in advance. We have a silver package where they can only book in 1 week in advance. So again, we're upselling our memberships to create more value and more privileges within that system. We also allow non-members to book classes, and again, that's all automatic through the system as well. So a non-member can register through the system, they get a login details, and then they can purchase a class, obviously at an inflated cost, because we want them to convert to members. Obviously, space is a premium, so we have automatic reserve lists as well. The last thing that I need my staff doing, yet again, is phoning people to say, right, a space has now become available in legs, bums and tums, do you want it? Because then inevitably they go no, and they go next. So I'm making 4 or 5 phone calls just to fill up one space. So within your system, try and have an automatic reserve list. So when a space becomes available, it automatically will put the next person into the class, and obviously it needs to send them a notification. Obviously what we're trying to do is just make sure the classes have no empty spaces. We also have an online offering. So obviously you've all built videos, online content during the lockdown, so use that within your app or your Facebook page. We have an on-demand section within our members app, so if people can't make it into the club, they're still engaged with all the classes that they can do in the app. What we've also done with all those on-demand classes is put a tablet on the wall in the studio. So when there's no class scheduled, people can go into the studio, pick legs, bums and tums, and it projects a class onto the studio. So again, trying to maximise our studio usage. Okay, secondary spend, as I said, I'm trying to automate as much of that as you can as well. So as I said, we upsell as many products as we can at the time of joining. When my kids joined the cricket club, yes, we had to pay our membership fee, but then they said, oh, if you buy a t-shirt now, you get it for 10 quid off if you buy a hoodie. We've ended up with bats, pads, gloves, the lot, because I was, in that moment, I was ready to spend. So people, they join and they want all the extra bits they can get as well. So join now, buy a hoodie for 50% off. So try and add that into your online offering as well. Obviously, if you're not using a digital EPOS system, then you've got to. You know, the amount of clubs that I go to and see where they've just got an old school till. Yeah, we just put it through there and track. Then there's no tracking whatsoever. If you don't use a digital till system, you have no idea how many products you're selling, best products and things like that, and it's just going to waste. So we have automatic stock alerts in our system. So all of our products, we've created a minimum stock level. So rather than having to, again, go through the system and go, well, how many bottles of water have I got? How many Sunbent vouchers have I got? We can create these alerts that will just flag it up to me at the end of the month and say, right, you need to order water, you need to order Lucozade. Again, it's just saving time without having to count how many bottles of water you have. With the reporting as well, you don't want to be slaving over running this report, running that. You know, yes, you can look at your data every single day, but is it going to change that much? So we dedicate a time once a month to run through all of our data. But it's not a case of having to run this report, configuring this with this, with this, with this. What we want to clearly see, literally at the touch of a button, how many members have I got? How many have I lost this month? How much have we earned? And things like that. So you want a system that's going to speed up your time running all the reports. Okay, and the same with the defaulting process. Yes, obviously some clubs will have contracts in place. I have rolling options, 12-month options, 6 months options, and everything like that. People will default. It's just part and parcel of the gym industry. So how can you get those members back and paying what they owe without yourselves having to make the phone calls, without having to send the emails and things like that? So obviously, myself at the Fit Club, we use Ashbourne for all of our debt recovery. So as soon as a member misses a payment, a letter will go out and an email will go out to say, did you know your DD didn't go through? So it's trying to get that person to reinstate their direct debit back into the club. And obviously what we do is, what the system does, it will automatically cut them off from accessing immediately. There's no, oh, have you paid, haven't you paid? It cuts it off straight away. As soon as they pay, obviously what we need to do is stop that process. And I hear a lot of times that somebody misses a payment, the club does all the follow-up, they make the payment, and the club is still following up because they're not sure that payment has been made. The member comes in and just creates that awkward option of, oh, have I paid, haven't I paid? As soon as that payment is made, your system must know that the payment has been made and not to do any more follow-ups. We also need to make sure that all your staff know exactly what's happening. So how do they, if somebody comes in that hasn't paid, do all of your staff know the process that's in place to get that payment back in? Okay, staffing automation then. So we use a staff management system, it's called Redditch. Manages their staff holiday, tracks their payroll. They can put their holiday requests in, rather than working off an Excel sheet and things like that, which just gets messy. And oh yes, I have asked for that holiday, and no, I haven't. Everything is in there, so they all can have access, their own access, and they can book all their holiday time and things like that. And again, it just produces a report. No, you cannot have a holiday because Mark's got a holiday. So that will automate all of my stuff. We have specific WhatsApp groups as well for all of our staff. So we have a general group for just our trainers in the club, where we've got information about the club. But we also have a specific class-only instructor group. So if within that group we have a network of instructors, whether they all come to the club or not is almost irrelevant. But if somebody can't do legs, bums and tongues, for instance, we can just put that on the group. We've got about 50 different instructors on there, and then somebody else can go, yep, I can do that. So again, it's just speeding up the process without having to phone around all these different instructors to say, can you do this? So it's not really just a system, but we've built as many staff habits as we can. So I suppose it is a system. So making sure that they have their name badges, making sure that they have the correct uniform and things like that. So it's not a system per se, but it's a habit that we try and get all of the staff into. So to make sure that obviously they're feeling our brand. With the PT, we've got about six or seven PTs in the club. At the moment, they're all self-employed. Okay, so they pay me a rent of £100 a week to access all of our members. They're all on our website. They all wear our Fit Club T-shirts, so they represent me. So the members don't know they're self-employed. Okay, as far as they're concerned, they're my trainers. So if somebody goes on the website and requests some information from Graham, for instance, if Graham doesn't reply that email, it looks bad on me. Okay. Yes, he's self-employed and it's his own business, but they're representing me. So what we've done, we've set up another pipeline within the system that will automatically send that member an inquiry, a return email from Graham to say thanks for the inquiry. So at least they're getting that follow-up. And then it's down to Graham to build it into his system. So that's one way of doing it. Because we keep improving the club all the time, the PTs are getting more and more income from it. Naturally, I believe. So what we're doing is we're going to change the model of the personal trainers. So rather than them paying us rent, what we're going to do is set every single one of their clients up onto a direct debit. So for the various amounts, you get so many sessions a week. Now, to ensure that I receive all the payments that I should, the DD money from the PTs is going to get split at source. So Graham, the PT, will get 60% and I'll get 40%. So as their businesses grow, I'm going to earn more from it as well. But rather than having to work out, you've done that many sessions and pay me this, it's all done at source. So Ashbourne split the payments, 60% to you, 40% to me. So as their businesses grow, I earn more. Okay, convert into a 24-hour club. So when without any of these systems, you simply couldn't move to an unmanned 24-hour club. If people want to join at 3 o'clock in the morning and come in, how are you going to do it? So you need to have these systems in place so that you can get as many members through and automated as possible. But the first thing to do, though, is do you actually need to do it? You know, we had, when I took over the club, we had, say, 400 members. It was 24-hour, and we had 6 people using it through the night. Now, it's a 25,000 square foot gym. 6 people, it didn't work, so we actually took it away. So first of all, run your numbers. However, obviously, we've seen a lot of clubs put it in. But I've seen a lot of clubs put the 24-hour, and it works. So you've got to work out your own areas. But what we've done is set up various membership packages. So you don't just give 24 hours to everybody. You know, yes, you have your normal packages. If you want 24-hour, it's going to cost you £5 extra, £10 extra, or whatever it is. That way, you can actually track how much money you're earning from the 24-hour. You know, it might not be required, but if you can see, actually, I've got 300 members that pay the extra £10 a month for 24-hour access, then it's worth it. If you don't know, then you're spending money without realising. So we've got the other considerations of how they're going to join. Are they going to join online? How are you going to give them their access code? So obviously with the Ashbourne system, it will automatically send them their PIN number, their login details. And obviously what we can set it up is PIN number only works once, for instance. So after that, they need to come in, because obviously PIN numbers can be shared. So how we get around that is that the PIN number works on their first visit, then they come in, register a fingerprint, receive a membership card or QR code in the app. So we just try and automate that as much as we can. How are they actually? What hardware are you going to use? So you're going to have a magnetic lock, or you're going to have a full height turnstile or pod. So these are just some considerations that I think you need to have. Another thing that I come across quite a lot when I go and see clubs is they have one company that does their payment collection. They have another company that does their software. They then have another company that does their access control. And the clubs keep saying to us, look, this company is blaming this one is blaming this one. It actually doesn't matter, because the members don't care. If they can't get in, they're just going to blame you. You know, you can't then go, well, it's his fault, it's his fault, it's his fault. So try and have an integrated system that manages all the payments. Funny enough, that's what we do. But do the payment collections, the software, the access control that integrates everything. So there's no work for you to do. Some other things, obviously, that you need to think about as well. CCTV. Need to have a system that's going to monitor all your CCTV and your monitoring stations and your insurance. A lot of clubs won't actually realise that their insurance doesn't cover 24-hour access and things like that. So you make sure you've got the proper cover. I also took 24-hour out of mine because I couldn't sleep at night. Because yes, I'm insured, but if somebody came in and stole all of our kit, yes, I get the money from the insurance, but it might be 2, 3, 4 weeks without any kit, in which case I'm going to lose those members. So that's another thing you need to think about as well. Shutters at reception, obviously making sure that people can't nickel your supplements and everything like that. So vending machines are another good way to go to automate the process and taking it away from all of your staff. Okay, so you've had your member, you've got your prospect, you've had your member, they've decided to leave. Then what do? Do you just leave them, or do you just send them an email every now and again? So what we have is, again, another pipeline which automatically starts as soon as a member leaves. So what we want to do is find out why they left. So our system will automatically ping them an email after they've left. Yes, we need to try and get them back, so it might be a mistake. So did you mean to leave, blah, blah, blah. Then we send them a survey. Now, if people leave, they're not really interested in filling a survey. So we need to incentivise them to fill in that survey. And it's not by a free month back in the gym because they've left for a reason. So we give gift vouchers to the shopping centre around the area. So give me the feedback on the club, because I want to hear it. And to say thank you, we're going to give vouchers. If you gave a month's free membership, they've just left. They're not going to fill it in. Don't then go through every single one as soon as they come in.
because you'll just start obsessing. Oh, this person has said this person has said this, and you end up like a cricket captain that's just moving the field every time the ball's been played into a certain area. You have your plan and then deal with it. So we, again, set aside a certain amount of time each month that says, right, let's go through all of the reports, run the stats rather than the personal feedback of the reasons people left, and then we deal with it. Okay, so just before, if you've got any questions, just fire them across in a second. But just in summary, obviously, having all these processes just free up your time. As I said, when I had my first club, I did everything. And I couldn't go on holiday, I couldn't do anything. Where putting in all these systems in place in the new club means that, well, I don't work in there, so it just runs. But it means I can spend more time with the family, and the staff can spend more time with the members, giving them that great experience, freeing them up from the desk to get out there doing the personal training. We've put all these systems in, but these weren't right from day one. So once you've got your system, see which bits work, see which bits don't, and don't be afraid just to tweak them all slightly. So we've changed our new member onboarding process about 3 or 4 times in the last sort of 8 months. It's just about making sure that all the information that you're giving them is relevant at the time, and how can you make it better each time. So we said about the habits for the staff. Having good habits is great. It gets them all in line, make sure they know exactly what they're doing. But if you have bad habits, that's just equally going to get ingrained in the club, and that's going to have a negative impact. So make sure you're nipping all your habits in the bud, making sure that they're good ones. But essentially, obviously, I'm up here, obviously we're Ashbourne, we do all this, so all of the systems that I've just said and spoke about, you can do yourself. You can go in there, you can create your own Excel sheets, you can set up all your different automations yourself, but the Ashbourne system will do it all for you. Everything from online joining, payment collections, member onboarding, prospect management, reporting, EPOS, it's all inbuilt. And what I do for all of our customers as well is I actually put all of our Fit Club automations all into the system. So rather than giving you the system saying, here you go, off you go, I put all of the Fit Club ones which have been tried and tested into the system. You can copy them, use them, and things like that. Because essentially, obviously, the more members you get, the more that everybody gets as well. So, good. Cool. I didn't realise I was going to be on the pyramid stage. Any questions? Or...
When we started with Ashbourne, you said that they were going to put all of the platforms onto like an internet type thing, like your reporting part is. When's that going to happen for the client-based side? Because I don't know how many years we've been with you now.
Yeah, so the access control software for Ashbourne is all desktop-based, but all the reporting functions and all of the prospecting and online joining and bookings and app, that's all web-based, so you can access that on everything.
No, I mean from the customer's perspective, because I don't think the client login when you put your members on, all of that, when's that going to become web-based?
Yeah, that's to say that from the members' point of view, they can all log in online. That's not a problem.
No, when we put a new member on, it's all the old system where you end up with like 3 different boxes on your screen and
yeah. So you're just putting on a cash member. So that needs to go in the system, yeah. So obviously I just have my tablets on reception. So people sign up on the tablets in reception, they go automatically straight into the system. So we'll get that all set up for you. That's not a problem. Yeah,
we started off on member where it was all web-based to start with, and we were told it would all be web-based, and it's not. It doesn't work
cool,
like that.
I'm getting a grill in here, aren't I? Bloody hell.
Sorry.
Where's my plants in the audience? So everything is web-based other than the access control software, where you would add a cash member. So if you're adding cash members into the system, then you need to do that on the program. But if they're joining with a direct debit, you can do it all online through your phone. You can do that through the tablet. You can do it however you want, and it will automatically go into the system. So, I say the software is developing all the time. So the next development will be with you straight away. But I'll get Evie or one to get in touch.
Do you know the difference between having cash members and direct debit members as well? Is that ever going to be sort of linked in any way? Because we find it a real pain when you've got somebody that moves from one to the other and back again, and that you have to delete one, put them back on, and all that. Is it ever going to be?
Yes, that's a new update that we're coming out at the moment. So if you're a cash member and upgrade into a direct debit, there'll be just a button that basically says reinstate, so you won't have a duplicate member in the system. Yes.
Hello. Okay. So you said about the data capture for like tours and everything. Is that something that like Ashbourne, because obviously we use Ashbourne, is that something Ashbourne can set up as well?
Yes, absolutely. So the data capture forms are all built in the prospect management. So you can build your various landing pages. So on my page, basically when I create different Facebook ads, Instagram ads, paid ads, rather than directing people just to the website where essentially they get lost because you send them to the website hoping that something's going to happen. What I do is I direct them to a landing page which is built in the Ashbourne system, which I can show you. So we build all these various landing pages within the system from the various ads. First of all, it means that I can track which ads are working, but secondly, it captures their data. So yes, you can have a free day pass. So the system will capture their email address, and then send them a day pass voucher or a discount code. And obviously if they don't join, then there's a follow-up sequence for that as well. So basically with the prospecting, you've got to capture the information, nurture them, and then get them to join at the end. But yeah, that's all built into the Ashbourne system, yes.
You said you went from 24/7 to manned hours. What time were your manned hours that you went to?
So we took 24-hour out because the size of we got about 5 emergency exits, lighting, music, and everything like that. So we took that out. We didn't want to take it away and completely piss everybody off. So we've gone from 5 in the morning till 11 at night. So I think it worked out. We lost about 6 members from it, but in a 2,000 member club, I'll happily lose 6 members if I can reduce all the costs. Ideally, if we were probably starting from scratch, we'd probably start at 6 and go to 10. But having those extra couple of hours means we still get those early people. So we've not shut the club up totally. But by taking the 24-hour away, we also mean our reception area. We had full height turnstiles at reception, and it became a bit of a barrier to getting people into the club. So taking them away, it's just made it a little bit softer. Rather than if I was to go back and do it, I wouldn't have the full height turn. I had some pods and things like that and make it a little bit more engaging. But it's all about running the numbers. If you haven't got enough people that are going to come in 24-hour, then is it worth it? But that varies from club to club, location to location. If you've got a factory that gives everybody 1,000 people finish at 2 o'clock in the morning, then it might be worth it. But the best way is having different membership packages that only give the 24-hour access, and you can actually tangibly see how much you're earning from the 24-hour.
So switching from 24-hour to manned, did you have to increase your staffing levels?
Oh yes, 100%. Yeah, the club was unmanned, but I think that's why it only had 300 members. Because it was unmanned, people couldn't actually get in; they'd have to join. It was all a bit, what do we do? So we've taken all that out. Yes, our costs have gone up, because we've now got to have staffing from 5 till 11, but we've grown from 300 members up to 2,000 members. So swings and roundabouts. I think I find it a lot more engaging club because there's somebody not at reception, but they can come into the club. People know exactly what to do. Come and talk to people, and we're growing. We're trying to offer more service rather than just reducing our costs. If we can increase our service, put our prices up, we don't need to just keep stripping away and competing with Pure Gym.
And the other thing is, how much do you spend roughly a month, do you think, on your advertising and the different types of advertising you do? What do you recommend?
Well, it varies. We have obviously we do Facebook paid ads, we do Google ads, we did a few newspaper ads, and as I said about the landing pages, we put some various codes into the newspaper ads to track exactly how many sales we got. So a newspaper ad was about 500 quid for 1 week. So I put a code in and we earn 1 member from all of that. So actually, you know what, I'm not doing a newspaper ad ever again because it's not worth it, where I can actually track. But with the Facebook and everything like that, you set a target. Right, I'm going to spend £30 a day or £10 a day or whatever it is. So yes, it might get used up quickly, or it might spread out over the course of the time. So we just try and we don't do an offer all the time, so we're not constantly doing it. We don't want to be a DFS where we're doing an advert. Oh, summer sale, winter sale, end of season sale. We want to do something tangible, because otherwise, if we add that joining fee in, and we keep taking it off every single time, then people go, actually, I'll just wait until they do an offer. So we actually only do offers at only certain times, and we try not to be price driven, because if we're just price driven, we're competing against Pure Gym, and we've got up to £35 a month, and they're now 15 quid. If it's priced, people are going to choose them every time. So we're just trying to create more value. So we just try and tailor our ads and things like that to a free PT session when you join. So it's not always about just giving a better offer. But in terms of price, I'll figure that out and let you know.
How do you find the split between gyms that charge a joining fee and don't? Because we've never charged one, but I don't know whether it's something we should consider now.
I like to have a joining fee in there, because what it does, it stops the month-by-month members stopping and starting willy-nilly, because they know that if they rejoin, they've got to pay a joining fee. So in terms of retention, for those group of people, it works a lot better to have one in, because actually instead of paying £35 a month, they've got to pay £35 plus a £20 joining fee or whatever it is. We also use that joining fee at the time of joining. So they come in for a tour round, and we use that as an incentive. You know what? If you join now, you've seen the prices, it's on the website. If you join now, I'll take that joining fee off. So the staff have a secret code that they can add into the tablet at reception, which takes that joining fee off. So again, it creates that urgency if they join now. It also means that if I do run a promotion, I'm not eating into the monthly fee each month. Because obviously if I knock £5 off a month and they stay with me for 5 years, that's a hell of a lot that I've lost. So we work with the codes on the joining fee, not the 20 quid joining fee off, which I weren't expecting to get anyway. If I get it, it's a bonus. But yeah, and I would say lots of clubs don't, because they're scared to put it in, because they think, oh, the club up the road doesn't do it, I won't do it. But you've almost got to forget about the club up the road. As I say, I compete against Pure Gym and cannot compete on price. So therefore, I put the joining fee in. So for somebody to join off the bat, it's about 50 quid a month. 50 quid, for the first month, and then 35 after that. So it's about that value. Actually, if they can see the value, they'll pay that joining fee. If I want to join a golf club, £1,500 for the first year and then 1,500 quid joining fee. They know they can get it because they're offering that level of service. So use the joining fee to attract new members and create that urgency to join now.
Hiya. A lot of what you were saying there with the marketing and the systems and the processes seem to me to be geared towards more of a large sort of do-it-yourself gym, more so than a PT studio. So do your marketing systems and your software systems lend themselves to sort of high-end small group PT gyms as well?
Yeah, absolutely. To be honest, I think if you're a PT studio, you need a system like this even more, because you've got even less members of staff that can do all these things. So you've got to put these processes in, because a PT studio, there might be you and a couple of other guys. You're booked out from every single hour. The last thing that you've got is time to be dealing with all these inquiries. So actually having these systems in place is probably most important for the smaller clubs, because they've got so much to do. Obviously the pipelines will all you can tailor the pipelines relevant to your club. So rather than it might be less so about joining a gym, but more the benefits of personal training, or this personal trainer over this personal trainer, things like that. So get your inquiry, nurture that inquiry, and convert them into a sale automatically. Ooh. Ooh.